Hey guys, I want to make this video while it's fresh in my mind. Apparently I was worried for no reason. I should just take off my glasses because they always are falling when I'm doing videos. So apparently I was worried for no reason because I was nervous. Because do we ever really stop coming out? I think the answer is no. At least for me, I think it's a lifelong process. Because there's always going to be people or new experiences, new things. I don't think you ever stop really coming out. At least that's been my life's journey at this point. I'm 36. I'm not 6 anymore. But tonight it finally happened, and I was so worried because I don't know because I love my grandparents, because even though I'm my own man and I'm an adult, I would never want to hurt them. I would never, that's why I've never actually had that conversation with them, about my sexuality. And, it's, for me, I've always identified as bisexual. I mean, it is like an 80-20 thing. My attraction leans mostly towards men, but I've always felt that for me to label myself as gay would not be accurate, because that's a whole nother video. But anyway, it's such a non-issue. And I mean, I know my grandfather saw a couple of the posters, because I saw his eyes, they just quickly averted, but he didn't say anything. And the reason I did this, I'll tell you why I did this, because it was last summer, sorry. Last summer, summer of 18, he randomly just came by one day, and he was looking at all my posters in the dining room, and he was just like, "I don't think you're a homosexual." And he said, and I was like, I didn't say anything. I was like, okay. And he's like, "There's too many women on the walls." And I was like, well, awkward. And I was like, "So how's the weather?" I was just trying to, change the subject, because it's just awkward, right? To have that conversation with your grandparents. And so, but about, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I was really inspired earlier this year by a buddy of mine. He just shared his story and his journey, and because of his decision, I just kind of let that, sit in my brain for a little bit. And I was like, you know what? I need to do the same thing. I need to be real and truthful and honest about who I am. And this is my house, my apartment. It's no one else's. And I was like, well, clearly my grandfather wants to have this discussion. I really don't. So maybe if I put some of these posters up, in plain sight, they'll get the message. And so my grandmother, God love her, I feel really bad. I do, because my grandfather was in visiting with me tonight for like 2 hours, really, or longer. My grandmother knocked on the door, and she was not happy. She's like, "Daniel, you should tell me if you want to go visit with your grandson, our grandson." She's like, "That's fine, but I've been in the," she's like, she didn't cuss, she never cusses, but she was choosing her words carefully. She's like, "I've been in the car for over 2 hours freezing, and she's like, I needed to come in." And then she's like, "Well, I'm going to stay and visit with my grandson. You're not going to kick me out right now." Because we had been standing at the exit, the doorway for like 30 minutes. And so she needed to go to the bathroom, which, hello, is fine. But I also could just tell Scout needed to go to the bathroom, because he doesn't really give me he's not like super aggressive or noisy. He just will stare at me, repeatedly for a while. And I'm like, he needs to, legit needs to go to the bathroom. But I'm not gonna lie, Geronimo, my heritage, my bro, he would have been disappointed in me because I totally took the chicken way out. I really did, because I love my grandmother so much, but she also can be feisty and fiery. And so I wasn't surprised at my grandfather's non-reaction as his reaction. But I was like, oh, I don't want my grandmother in here. I don't want to be in here when my grandmother sees these posters. So I did. I mean, Scout did have to go to the bathroom. He did. Like, seriously, he went to the bathroom and it was fine. But I was like, oh, I'm going to use Scout as the reason to bail and bounce. So I was outside for seriously 20 minutes, because I take him on fairly long walks, and tonight was even longer. But in my head, I don't know. My grandparents are super religious, and they're the sweetest people you could ever hope to meet. But it's like I could just picture my grandmother seeing these photos of, nearly naked men, and I'm like, oh God, she's gonna have a priest and, holy water, and, I'm like, so I was just in my head, I made it so much worse. And so I came back in, and they didn't say anything, either one of them. And so I just, I'm sure they're gonna put me on their prayer list or whatever. I don't, but in my head, I'd built it up to be this, just this horrific thing. But back to the beginning of the video, it is difficult and hard, because I would never want to disappoint or hurt any of my, close family members. And my grandparents are definitely close to me. And that's why I did, reparative / conversion therapy for 2 years, because I knew how much it would have meant to my dad for me to quote unquote be cured and to pray the gay away. I did. I tried it for 2 years, not because I believed it would work, but I knew what it would mean to him, my dad. So, and if things had not gone the way they did, I didn't want to be here. I took the easy way out. I didn't want to see or hear any of the disappointment or hurt in their voice. That's why I made a video earlier this summer as well, when I was really irritated at their next door neighbor. It's like, you don't care about them, not the way I do. Because if you did, as their neighbor and supposed best friend, you wouldn't tell them all the things that you've seen me post on Facebook, because it would hurt them. It would make them very sad. So if it had gone a different way, and maybe it did, I don't know. I was gone for 15 or 20 minutes. Maybe they were sobbing uncontrollably. I doubt it. But, the point of this video is it was such a non-issue. And I was like, what, this is what I've been terrified of for 20 years or longer, And it was nothing. Nothing happened. The world's still here. I'm still breathing. And that's that.